Hey, what's good, people, man? Platinum Bearded Dread, offering up tips on how to navigate through this thing called life. Tell us what's on the bike then, you dig it? Now, is it just me, or does it seem like relationships always ending these days? You're always hearing that so-and-so finished with so-and-so and so-and-so broke up with so-and-so. And we're talking about some relationship that were going for years, man. And all of a sudden you hear that they split up. You know what I mean? And I'm sure, I'm not going crazy, but I'm sure that back in the day it seemed like, you know, relationships lasted longer. Now some of you may say, and that's fair enough, that back then people put up with more and they just, you know, kept it quiet behind closed doors. But they would still go through stuff, maybe. But trust, the way we're going, it's like, I don't know where we're going, to be honest with you. You know, I don't know what kind of future we got where couples, relationships just ended so quick and nothing's being built. These days it seems so crazy that you sneeze the wrong way and all of a sudden the grass is greener on the other side. Now, but jokes aside here, could the grass be green on the other side? I mean, what are the reasons why, apart from the obvious infidelity, what are the reasons why people want to, you know, go out and taste a bit of the forbidden fruit while they're in a relationship? Some people say they get bored, you know, and that's strange in itself because it's like they didn't meet it that way. But some people say they're bored, some people say, and it's not to judge the reason, some people say because some people may do it because they've got low self-esteem, and so especially a lot of men, it might be their way of feeling like they still quote unquote got it. Some people do it because something may have happened in the past where they felt like their partner was unfaithful, so they did it to get revenge. Some people might do it because the sex ain't great. There's so many reasons, but it still boils down to the same thing: the idea of tasting from the other stream. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? And the idea of playing the field and not getting caught. But let me hit you with a story that delves more into this, you know how we do already. I had a friend of mine, yeah, who was in a solid relationship. And everyone, man, that guy's yeah, man, nice. Everyone, yeah, that's it. Everyone marveled at him because, you know what I mean, their relationship was so solid, man. Their children, and you know what I mean, he was a very popular guy as well. Yeah, he flirted here and there, but you know, very popular, man. And you know, he's a music man, loved his music. Yeah, I could see he perform and stuff like that. And I got to know his wife and all of that. And it was like the perfect relationship. You know what I mean? They were so close, they were like brothers and sisters. But then, I don't know how many years in the relationship because I knew him before, I mean, way down the line when they'd already been married for years. But then, he began to show me pictures of a lady friend that he had met. And, you know, they weren't the average pictures put that way. You know, I didn't know what I was going to be looking at, but once I realised what I was looking at, then I said, oof. But anyway, there was pictures of his lady friend in underwear and stuff like that. And whenever he used to talk about her, he'd always, talk about her, yeah, he'd always make sure the phone was off. Because he didn't trust phones, whether it was on or not, he just had to switch it off. And it's been on for a while, not showing the pictures because after that I used to get uncomfortable for him talking about her and stuff like that. And so obviously he was dipping in and out for years, unbeknownst to his wife. And then out of the blue, he told me that they broke up. And everyone was shocked because they didn't know the background. I did, but I was still shocked because they were what you call a model couple. But it was almost like the writing was on the wall. And it was only a matter of time. But the real thing that struck me after they split up was how he was never the same again, man. You know, he tried to be bubbly. Obviously, he was single. He didn't have as much access to his children, and he was almost like a different person. It was like something had been sapped out of him, but you couldn't tell what it was. But you just knew something had been taken out of him. Now, the reason why I bring up this story, yeah, is because it's definitely possible that the grass could be greener on the other side, no doubt. I mean, come on, it's exciting to be, you know, when you get in a relationship, after a while, things can become mundane, routine, you know, all the things that aren't sexy, you know, taking out the trash and, you know, seeing each other first thing in the morning, you know, all them things. Hang on a minute, man. Huh? Yeah, man. Live.
What you vlogging?
Live, you know?
YouTube.
Yeah, man.
Let me say hi.
Sorry about that. Bumped into some youngsters who want to know what's filming and stuff like that. And there's some very interesting points of view on infidelity and all of that stuff. Maybe one day I'll put on a separate post. But anyway, as I was saying, yeah, when you be in a long-term relationship, you know, you kind of get used to each other, you know, taking out the trash and you don't seem sexy anymore, you know, and waking up, seeing each other first thing in the morning, you know, the things that normal couples do. And it can be easily understandable why the idea of dipping in another stream can seem tempting. But just like the story I was telling you about my friend, the first thing you have to consider is that the main reason why people do have affairs is because of sex. And once you've had it once, twice, 3 times, whatever, you have to understand that there's only so long you can keep it up without it starting to eat you up on the inside. And you'll start acting out of character. You know, even your partner begins to notice things that are different because you'll be paranoid about whether or not she knows. And even with the paranoia, you'll begin to wonder, is she having an affair? Because you start losing trust in yourself. It's strange how that happens where you're the one that's unfaithful, but because of that, you no longer trust yourself. So that's projected at your partner, wondering whether or not she's fake loyal to you. And you've got all this going on in your head, and it just doesn't seem so exciting anymore. I'm talking after a while. Some people can pull this off for years. But the worst part of it all is, like I mentioned about my friend, is that when you cheat on someone that you love and the relationship ends, you're losing more than just sex. I mean, that's a small part of the picture. You're losing a life. You know, you're losing not a house but a home. You know, all the little intricacies, you know the word, I mean, that make up a couple. You know, little things like sitting in comfortable silence, you know, and knowing each other's ways, all those little things that take years to build. You're losing all of that. And that's one of the reasons why when people have affairs and the relationship ends, they're never the same again, because they think it was just about sex. And that was like a tiny, tiny percentage of what's gone. And that's why they're never the same again. So the question really is, maybe it might be tempting, and maybe it is quote unquote green on the other side, but are you willing to give up all of that? And remember, we're not talking about if someone has cheated on you, because that's a good reason, or someone is physically or mentally abusing you. That's a good enough reason, an important reason to call it a day. But if the person isn't doing any of those things, now I'm not here to judge anyone, because like my father used to always say to me, only you know where the shoe pinches you. But you will know the degree to which you feel like you're suffering. But you have to be honest with yourself and say to yourself, is this to the point where it's irreparable? And am I willing to give up all of this that we've built together, that's made it more than just a relationship, but a life? We're not even talking about children, but a life, a family. Am I willing to give, sorry brother, am I willing to give up all of that for a bit of excitement? Something to think about, man. But anyway, I'll leave that with you. And like I said, I'm not here to be the judge of anything, but I'm just laying it out there, man. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, man. Maybe you've been in that position where, you know, you've been the one who found out and ended it, or maybe you were the one who were low-key doing your thing. But I'd like to know your thoughts still. I'd like to read it, man. So drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. And oh yeah, don't forget, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And we can do this again. Platinum Bearded Dread, Tales from the Bike then. Hit man.